These anti-soldiers seem twitchy to you? Might want to sneak our way in.
Readying assault protocols.
Once I simmered down and looked around, they're dead.
Got some bad
You can't recognize Lawson got kicked up the ladder before I did. All I get is more tasks, more pressure. New designation, no spread fucking raise. So damn irritating.
You there? Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you? Scream twice for yes. Could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elmet Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Yes, tragedy has befallen a number of my subordinates. I will trust you not to make light of such heart-rending events. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel, inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success. Well, of course, succeeding in a haphazard fashion is one of the first courses taught to Auntie's Choice students in any field. But yes, I am something of a visionary. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Just so. You seem no stranger to this type of work, eh? Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Well then, anything else before we proceed? Well, you'd certainly think so, but management sets the goals. Our humble research team works to deliver. But as much as I'd love to natter on, we probably ought to get matters underway. We'll need two things: fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds. A satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Typical Auntie's choice. Moving fast and breaking things.
Out of proportion. I am overreacting just the exact right amount. Why is this door open? Isn't this lab meant to be secure? Doesn't anyone else have standards in this place? You want high security? I'll give you high security! Did you have an appointment? What do you mean you're leaving?
Ship's over. I have a life outside this place, you know.
A life? Outside our lab? No. Audacious advances requires
Looks like that lab tech was trying to retrieve something from that terminal. Almost made it, too. Damn. No good deed, I suppose.
But don't be resentful. Wouldn't anybody be? A profusion of reasons why. Ask anyone. I heard that. I do not take kindly to interruptions. I am becoming increasingly perturbed.
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Sorry, ain't ready yet.
Engaging hostile life forms. Next unit, advance healing yourself.
Trigger finger's still tight.
Goodwin here. Field report update. We are approaching the Raptidon den. These beasts have exhibited excessive irritability as of late. We endeavor to determine why. Surely the red spores aren't to blame. Windborne spores lack the catalytic agent of our food additives. Only way to be certain is to gather a stool sample. Simple enough. A routine task for the Audacious Advances field team. Right now, as we approach the rap's nest, certainly the spirited variety will offer... Oh, no! Oh, okay. We need to run now!
Samples acquired. This quantity should be enough to produce the antidote. Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendly...
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal. Nobody around.
Engage.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Please seek treatment for bodily trauma soon.
My most favorite, least homicidal subordinate. How's all our field work progressing? Absolutely gorgeous. Look at you. And to think I just forcibly coerced the first gormless dunderhead who walked by and found you. Lucky me. Now, first things first. Place the data cartridge in the drawer for me, right here, in the slot below my intercom. Haha. Allow me to give this a cursory eyeball and... perfect! I'm sure we have the correct neutralizing agent here in the lab. I'll nose out the exact compound within our chemical reserves in 2 shakes of a rat's tail. Always fortuitous to have ready access to a key chemical agent nearby. This might work out yet. Auntie may ignore our recent setbacks if I deliver an easy-to-market product. Just imagine the ad slogans. Air, now with extra fractiousness. Though, I suppose it only works on other Auntie's Choice employees, not our preservative-free rivals. Oh, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now we must formulate an antidote. If we're able to save my remaining subordinates, they can help us rush this product to market. Normally, I'd say perfection can't be hurried, but... there. I have determined the ideal counteragent. Here you are. Place it and the spore samples into that synthesizer. Enable the device, and it will beget a working antidote momentarily. Return with it directly as soon as it does, if you please. I cannot wait to put this entire sordid affair behind us. Though, in the end, this should turn out to be quite a lucrative day. I saw you working the chemical synthesizer. I presume you were successful in creating an antidote? Nice try. But you don't possess nearly the negotiating power you might suspect. Not when I can simply bide my time and wait for another gormless dunderhead to stumble by. Why, let that thick-headed boob amble off with your reward. Not budging? Oh, all right. I suppose I'd be willing to throw in a little extra as a merit bonus for your superlative performance. Wonderful, wonderful! Knew you seemed a bankably reliable sort. All right. I am activating the air filtration system. There. Should only take a few moments for the antidote to circulate. Everyone still alive should be right as rain shortly. Marvelous. You'll find your remuneration in the chest behind me. My supervisor will hear of your actions. Oh, and before I forget, I, Omid Ormsby, under the power granted me by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, hereby free you from impressed service to Auntie's Choice. Be seeing you.
We were sent to relieve the troops here? What went on in this place?
Well, that's not the first time I blacked out and lost a day. Did I miss anything?
Whatever went wrong here, I wager it's got to do with that red substance. Might be best we look and don't touch.
Don't even think about disrupting the marketplace. This place was quite the scene when we arrived. Any idea what happened?
Confronting threat.
This looks like the place. No, I haven't felt this high-strung since Horizon Point.
As indicated.
or sprint. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, crabble skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Howdy, Zed. You look... well.
Do you always put your hands on other people's things? Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters. And who precisely are you? Another Earth Directorate cast-off? So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zed?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please. It has to do with the location of a vault rumored to house the Protectorate's greatest technological advancements, including its skip drive designs. That's all I'll say for now.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the consul.
Processing anomalous data. Returning to patrol mode.
I was sad for a moment because my house got submerged in the flooding. Then the wireless told me everything was splendid.
Prudence dictates that we watch. I reject imperfect thoughts in all their forms. All thoughts of any kind, whatsoever.
Disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here,
I just feel sad for them. It's even in their name.
Auntie's choice is an invasive species, Prudence says.
And plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to appreciate it.
Well, it's you locked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. All right, well, don't let me keep you.
This is all going perfectly according to the paradigm, I guess.
Stay true, outsider.
I just can't wait for it to be going more perfectly again.
You can't fight contentment.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our house, tap for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses. But then, how do I cook the fish?
The wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
The Sovereign really does think of everything.
Do our part to maintain it. Keep up with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors.
Trust the plan, serve set progress.
Refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Greetings, non-protectorate wretches. With regret, I must inform you that those outside our glorious society may not take freely from our stocks, as our subjects do. However, I may offer you a limited selection of premium items for moderate respective fees. Initiating.
Seal in defense against seizure. And/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden. Appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintraub. Why, that's wonderful. I'm actually quite relieved a fellow customer like yourself somehow saw through my carefully maintained act. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
The paradigm affords us a perfect life.
I am not familiar, though that does sound like one of their products. I refer to the ones for Purpleberry Crunch brand cereal. You likely guessed their influence right off, what with my assertive attitude and all. I laugh at danger. I hand-make my own luck. That character is a revelation. You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret. I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets. If I understand the subtext, that means yes. Dearie me, you are the first secret agent I have ever met. At least in waking life. Now, do tell, what is the latest word from the field?
The matriarch chose Eden because...
Really? What was he like? Bold? Assertive? With a wildly obstreperous theatrical air?
The pleasant atmosphere and rich...
An audacious proposal. Yet this place, despite its recent humidity, remains comfortable and familiar.
And through the sovereign, devised the paradigm.
I just imagine it. A new life full of breakneck decision-making and fending for oneself. But no, while I have acquired a distinct craving for certain Auntie's Choice products, I remain a good, loyal, protectorate subject at heart, if not in stomach. Hate to dash everyone's hopes. Suppose I am still part of the herd.
The base individual.
You do that? Really? No, I do not believe your dissemblage. A true go-getter would never resort to such tactics. I see right through it, plain as day. Of course. Toodaloo. Hey there, go-getter.
Your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever.
Well,
But prudence dictates.
This is not shooting the water anymore.
Extra added zeal for now, just to offset.
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word of the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage.
I had a nightmare that the mage... Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the sovereign.
distilling our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Stranger?
Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Material for perfection. From the lowliest...
I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
Produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes...
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts. Why, we're traitors, obviously. We've not fulfilled our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long.
But prudence dictates
My linguistic embellishments are somewhat beside the point. This here's a matter of accountability. Responsibility was mine. Disgrace and judgment should be mine solely as well. My intention is to absolve my subjects of any and all such blame. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform...
That's abundantly kind of you, though there must be something I can offer.
All inhabitants are declared...
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there. Once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
affords us a perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation.
Farewell now.
Sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have
subject to the most exalted vigilance.
You returned.
Trust the plan, observe said progress.
I inhaled so much dust and debris during the attack.
Fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive...
Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. I mean, sure. All the underlying logic's the same, if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which are a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able. I think he's bearing up admirably given recent events. Which, of course, are completely fine, and we are all in no way concerned about. The system being resilient and all. Hogarth's reliable as the Arcadian sun. I mean, I know it'll burn out in about 12 billion years and all, but considering our meager lifespan, that's plenty dependable enough for me. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides. Much to do, truly. Toughest challenge now is upkeep of key apparatus. If that generator goes, for instance, doubt I have means to fix it. We lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course. Curativist Row is a fine sort, pillar of our community. Might impatient, sure, but with how busy she is, we'd all do well to respect her time. Watch out for that Weintraut fellow. Talk your ear off if you let him. Kinda lonesome, but doesn't let anybody near his place for some reason. Even before the flooding. Everybody else? Decent enough, I guess. Well, mechs do all the heavy work for us in the Protectorate. Just like each of us, each type of mech has their assigned specialty. Takes a little doing, but you can readjust them. A combat mech can be reconfigured to oversee comestible distribution, for instance. Or mine or harvest crops. All you need is the know-how to retool their subroutines. And the right parts. Plenty of parts. Granted, reprogrammed mechs are never as efficient as those specially made for a role, but they get by, eventually. After a fashion. Outsider.
The sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must